The most successful people you know have failed more times than you've tried. I used to see failure as a sign I wasn't good enough. Deleted projects, quit careers, avoided risk. But then I realized the most valuable thing I own isn't my successes. It's my failures. Because every failure taught me something that free courses never could. And the more I failed, the faster I grew. Here's why failure is actually currency and how to start spending it right. Most people treat failure like a disease, something to avoid, something shameful. But here's what they don't understand. Failure is information. It's data about what doesn't work. And data is power. I spent years being afraid of failure. Stayed in jobs that bored me, avoided learning new skills, because I was afraid of looking incompetent. But that fear, it kept me incompetent. Because you only get good at things by doing them badly first. Think about a kid learning to walk. They fall hundreds of times, and nobody's ashamed for them. We celebrate every fall because we know falls are part of the process. They're not bugs, they're features. But somewhere around age 7, we start punishing failure. Schools grade you, parents criticize, peers laugh. And suddenly, failure becomes shameful instead of informational. And we stop taking risks. We stop growing. In economics, currency is something you can exchange for value, money, for example. But failure works the same way. Every time you fail, you gain knowledge. You gain experience. You gain scars that make you anti-fragile. And you can exchange those things for success later. Think about it. If you want to build a business, you need to fail at sales calls first, fail at pricing, fail at products. Every failure teaches you something that makes the next attempt better. But most people see failure and think, I can't do this. And they stop. They exit the game. They never get to collect the currency. The people who succeed, they understand. Failure isn't the end. It's payment. It's the cost of admission. And the more you pay, the richer you get. Have a friend who wanted to be a writer. She queried 47 agents, got rejected 47 times. And every rejection was painful. But she treated each one as data. What made this agent say no? How can I improve my pitch? By rejection 30, her pitches were significantly better. By rejection 45, she had an agent interested. By failure 47, she had a book deal. But here's the key. She didn't get good despite the rejections. She got good because of them. The rejections were her tuition. And tuition is worth paying if you're buying a valuable education. Most people quit around rejection 5 or 6. They think, I'm not meant to be a writer. But really, they just haven't collected enough failure currency yet to buy success. So here's the practical part. How do you actually collect and spend failure currency? Step 1. Reframe failure as feedback, not fate. When something doesn't work, don't say, I failed. Say, that approach failed. You're not broken. The strategy was. Step 2. Extract the lesson before moving on. Fail, then ask, what did I learn? What would I do differently? Write it down if you have to. Step 3. Increase your failure rate intentionally. The people who grow fastest are the people who try more things. And when you try more, you fail more, but you also learn more. And eventually, you succeed more. Step 4. Celebrate the failures that taught you most. When you fail, especially if you learn something big, acknowledge it. You're literally training your brain to see failure as valuable. Now, I know what some people think. If failure is so good, shouldn't I just fail at everything? No. There's a difference between intelligent failure and reckless failure. Intelligent failure. You try something, it doesn't work. You extract the lesson, you try again differently. Reckless failure. You make the same mistake repeatedly and don't learn anything. The currency only has value if you're converting it into wisdom. Otherwise, it's just pain. So the real skill isn't failing, it's failing intelligently. It's asking the right questions after the failure. It's being willing to look foolish. It's treating your losses like research data instead of personal attacks. So here's what this all comes down to. The most successful people aren't the ones who avoid failure. They're the ones who collected the most failure currency and converted it into skill. Every rejection, every flop, every wrong turn. That's not wasted time. That's tuition. And you're buying one of the most valuable educations available. The education of reality. What's one failure you've been carrying around like shame? What if it was actually wisdom? What if you already collected the currency and just didn't know how to spend it? That's your signal. You're richer than you think. You just need to change how you see it. Drop a comment. What's the biggest failure that taught you something? Let's normalize this. Subscribe for more psychology-backed wisdom on how successful people think.